Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 8 at Laurel Park on a really nice afternoon of racing in Maryland. Several graded stakes races, including the Grade 2 Baltimore, Washington International Turf Cups, a 200 grander. Let's take a look at the field for some nice turf runners going 1 mile. The number 7 black type won this race last year when it was known as the Commonwealth Turf Cup, and he finally got back to the winner's circle most recently when dropped in class in an optional claiming race. I think it is encouraging that this horse has shown more interest in the early portion of his races recently. Did he win last time out, or did Night Prowler kind of give it up? I think that mile and a 16 is a little long for Night Prowler.
Yeah, I sort of feel that way too. I mean, it was nice to see this horse finally get back to win another race, because he had been a little disappointing since he won what this race was last year. But I can't help but watch that race and think, I don't know, he kind of just got it done because Night Prowler didn't get it done. There were no closers in that race at all. He worked a little hard for my liking to get it done last time. He's a really nice horse. He could win this race, but I'm looking elsewhere for my top pick.
And he just got such a beautiful ride from Trevor McCarthy and winning the Commonwealth Turf Cup last year, if you remember, when just angling down towards the inside late and winning. He can easily win this race, and 9-2 on the morning line is more than fair, I think, considering his credentials. I would use this horse in any kind of multiple race wager. The one Glorious Empire was claimed for 62.5 at Belmont. He bled that day. Carlos Martin ran him for 50, and he just dominated a field to the tune of a 104 Beyer speed figure. He then showed up in the Bernard Baruch handicap against a quality speed horse in Heart to Heart. I think Jose Lezcano should have went on with it early. I don't think he should have rated this horse. I think it hurt this horse.
I agree. I don't think that he necessarily, you see yielding ground and you just sort of automatically want to give him that excuse. I don't even know if that had that much to do with that. I just think he got the wrong ride, and you can't really, I don't think in this race anyway, I don't think you can play games with this horse. You got to turn him loose from the inside and let him go out there and make the pace. I don't know if he's really that 104 kind of horse he was at Saratoga, but that was an impressive win. I mean, he absolutely smashed that field.
Let's see what the Timeform US Pace Projector has to say, and whether they believe the One Glorious Empire can make the lead. Now, I don't agree with the Pace Projector. They have the 4 Catapult up front, but I do think that the number 6, Xmas Sky, who was a winner 2 starts back after opening up an 18-length lead in the middle portion of the race, he might be hard to handle early, and Glorious Empire might have no choice but to concede. Yeah,
we'll see what happens if that horse gets really aggressive in this race. Obviously, he's taken a pretty big step up in class here, but if they're going to send him in this race, I mean, I don't see why you would take him out of his natural style. His natural style is to go to the front.
For more Timeform Pace Projectors for all of the races in North America, Timeform US Speed Figures, new fun way, different way to look at past performances. Head on over to timeformus.com. Tower of Texas, we know, is not going to be on the lead. He does have some quality. He just did not run well on the Woodbine Mile. And I know he was in against World Approval and some really good horses. To me, that was a very disappointing performance.
Yeah, it wasn't one of his better runs, that's for sure. You know that he's capable of a better race, and that he just didn't run it last time for whatever reason. Listen, maybe this is a much easier spot for him, and he'll rebound, because if he rebounds to one of his better races, he's a contender.
Roger Atfield showing some confidence, wheeling him back on only 2 weeks. Noticed, has Ring Weekend seen better days? I'm a big fan of this horse. He's earned $1.5 million. He's a graded stakes winner on dirt and turf, and it looked like he began this season, his 6-year-old year, with a little bit of promise, but his most recent races to me have just been underwhelming. In the Bernard Baruch, I mean, it was a yielding turf course. If you want to give him that excuse, fine. I just didn't like the way he fired in the lane.
Yeah, this horse, I'm like you, I'm a big fan of his, and I was really interested to see what he would do this year, because I thought his first couple of starts back were really good, and he just, for whatever reason, he's just totally lost me in his most recent races. He really needs to turn it around.
His special ops just the latest example of Michael Maker's brilliance, claiming horses, turning them into stakes foes. He was a stakes winner 2 starts back at Mountaineer. He was placed in a really nice spot last time out of Kentucky Downs, a key race. The 5th horse came back to win a stake at Arlington with a 98 Beyer speed figure. He's got really good tactical speed where he might be drafting in 3rd behind the 2 speeds. I mean, it's hard to throw Maker at this point when he hits you over the head time and time again with these horses.
It's very true. It's really, really hard to just totally dismiss horses like him. Having seen plenty of special ops when he was a 30 claimer in New York a couple of years ago, it's hard for me to get excited about him in a race like this, but I've just seen Maker do it with too many horses.
Chad Brown has 2 in here. Let's look at the Formulator Fact for projected. That blinkers experiment didn't last very long. It was 1 race. Chad's taking the blinkers off, and good news for projected fans, he does well taking the blinkers off when races restricted for 3 and up on turf. 37%, almost a $3 ROI. Projected came over here with a little bit of a reputation, and he's kind of underwhelmed in some starts. The Bernard Baruch, I don't really think the yielding going. I know he ran okay in the poker. I don't really think that yielding ground really helped him last time out. The lure was okay, not great. I think this is kind of an important race for his career, though. I think he needs to win this race to show Chad that you can continue on in graded stakes races with him. He has races to win it.
Yeah, no.
Is he an underling?
I think he is. I mean, he's the favorite on the morning line. He's just based on, you know, the 6 races we've seen from him now in the United States. I could never take a short price on him. I mean, he's fine. He can win. He gets good trips in his races. He really tries in the stretch. But he also loses a lot of races where it's not that easy to make excuses for him. No way am I betting him as the favorite.
But we both like Brown in here. I'm hoping that projected drifts. I don't think he will. I think he's the most likely winner as we take a look at our selections for the feature race at Laurel, the Grade 2 Baltimore, Washington International Turf Cup. Catapult, boy, you know my feeling about Catapult. I've never been a big fan of his, but I have to say, Chad dropped him in last time out, and this is a horse that it seems like every time you ran leading up to that last race, it was either on yielding or good ground, and I think maybe he just likes it really firm. He had a lot of work to do in the stretch last time out, and while he's still a little bit weird with his lead changes, he fired late.
Yeah, I really thought he did too. Yeah, I guess he's just one of those horses, because you're right, he still looked a little awkward through the stretch, but I guess he's just one of those horses who just isn't that well gated. He looks strange when he runs, but I'm with you, man. And I know that the Change Will Do You Good was out there winging it on a clear early lead in there. This horse really ran. I loved the way that he finished in that race, and I think it was very important for him in that race, especially, to get taken back off the pace and to not go crazy when Castellano did that, because sometimes he gets really headstrong and he won't settle. When he settles, he's pretty good. He has some ability. I liked his last race a lot. I don't like the other Brown horse at that kind of price. I'm going to try and beat him with this one.
And that last race was pretty productive. I think Forge was 4th, and he came back to run 2nd in the Baruch. I think he popped a 101 buyer in the Baruch. So perhaps coming out of a live race is Mike's top selection, the 4 Catapult, and I'll go 2, 4, 5, and 7 in the Baltimore Washington International Turf Cup. Laurel card, nice one on Saturday. If you're playing at home, DRF Bets is the way to go. You're going to get a $300 sign-up bonus right off the bat by heading over to drf.com/fall, signing up to DRF Bets with the promo code FALL300, an approximate post time for race number 8 at Laurel on Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Good luck.